Right folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild landscape of Scotland. And for this exciting adventure, we're once again joined by the channel DJ out here. And we're honestly out in like a heat wave just now. The conditions are amazing and the weather's just perfect for an adventure. It's not often in Scotland you can literally go with a t-shirt on these adventures. So today we've come up to the top of Glen Esk, and instead of going on the mainstream kind of touristy route up to Invermark Castle and stuff, we've decided to come up this other side, which leads up to the Queen's Well, which was a Victorian, obviously put in for Queen Victoria back in the day, because this used to be a popular route for the royal family making their way over the land at a certain time in Scottish history. And then this fountain was put in for that reason, so they could stop there, and it was to commemorate her trip over this land at a certain time. So let's go up and have a look. 1800s history today folks, and yeah, look, there's a lot of water kind of like bubbling out of the ground, making this path super wet. Even though it's not rained probably for days, you always get that natural springs coming out of the ground. But we're literally up in these highland hills, you could call it folks. And look, the trees and everything's starting to come out. Look at the old, well I should say, look at the cones on there, like freshly budding. You can't beat that, the smell of the trees folks. Look how many stones is here. It almost looks like there's been something built, maybe demolished. Not unless some of these stones were taken off the land here when they were clearing this field for agriculture. Sometimes in these glens there's so many years of history and layers of history. As we're exploring, we just uncover it. And the spontaneous adventures are the best folks, when you just kind of head up a path with no plan. It's often amazing the things you see. So yeah, let's get into this adventure. Wow, look at this right here. I've not even switched the camera off yet folks. Check this out. I'm being super aware there could be ticks in the ground at this time of year. Check this out here though folks. It's like a circle of stones or some kind of old building. And that makes sense with my theory, because I was thinking there could have been a little building of some sort, and yeah, you can really see it. It's like there's been an entrance there. I don't think it's been as big as a lime kiln, but it's certainly been some kind of little construction. Wow folks, so there we go, that's the first historical nugget on this adventure. And I can promise you there's probably plenty more of that on a walk like this. This is mad folks, there's a green beetle right there. It's not even going to come out on the camera. See the heat and the temperature in this sun folks. Yesterday I was down at Edinburgh and I got sunburn, and today we're up in this mad glen, and once again the sun is beating down right here and it's just adding to the sunburn that I already had. But yeah, I just love landscapes like this. Look at these wild cliff-like hills here, but see also the nature and wildlife amongst all this is just crazy. Like, we've just seen a green beetle there that I had never seen before in my life, and every year I'm always amazed because I see animals that I never have seen before. And the older you get, you would think that's less possible, but Scotland's full of surprises. Here, I've just seen another big beetle. It must be great beetle terrain, this right here. Check this out folks, what a way to do. We've come to this little burn on this river crossing. I've decided to jump down to here to cross. Channel DJ's on the sensible rock. I'm just going to go for it. Full send folks. But I need to also land properly here, kid. I need to just think about it, but also land properly. Yes, we did it. That's what these Scottish adventures are all about folks. We like taking not necessarily the easiest route, but the most fun route for sure. Here folks, we've just literally noticed, I was away to look at the river and document the river, and literally there's a snake right here on the edge of the grass, but I'm not really wanting it to come and try and attack me. Here, I'm going to go round. Channel DJ's at the opposite side of it. We need to watch out for more snakes. See, I think it's an adder rather than a slow worm. That's the thing in these lands folks, you do get poisonous snakes. See that? You'd be better making your way around far away in case it comes to you, because they can go quick. I've seen adders moving almost as quick as a moose. Look at this, folks. The next animal here, we're keeping our eyes to the ground for more snakes. And Channel DJ is going to send me the picture he just took of that snake that we saw. And I'm going to include it in the video right here. So that's crazy, isn't it, folks? A snake like that up in these glens, and that's what we're always aware of on these adventures. Just think, these sheep might be getting bitten by an adder if they're lurking about. But the thing is, with that adder that we just saw, it looked like a young adder, and sometimes they can have stronger venom than the fully grown adders. And if they do bite you, you can actually be in a lot of bother. Because there was one of the gamekeepers, I believe, bitten by an adder at a certain time up here, and they decided at the hospital not to give him any anti-venom. All the nurses and stuff hadn't even seen a snake bite like that before, ever. And that would be a scary situation to be in. The people treating you wouldn't even know how to treat you. Like, you're just hoping that your organs didn't shut down for the poison. So yeah, that is a real creature that we deal with out here, folks. In the summer in Scotland, there's some mad animals out here. But just check out the landscape. So remote, so wild. And we can actually see the Queen's Well up ahead here in this piece of land. Look at this, folks. The next wild Scottish creature here on the video is this beetle. Just look at the size of it. When the sun shines on it, it's actually black with a rainbow through it. Its rear legs are almost like a blue colour. And it's just making its way through this land. But we've actually made it now as far as this majestic monument out here in the wildland. It's the Victoria monument. The Queen Victoria fountain it is, folks. And what a cool adventure it's been to get here. I'm often thinking about so many things at once when I'm looking at all these creatures, and then this history is just hidden within it. It's just absolutely mad. And look at all this quartz on the ground. Maybe at one time the ground was pure white around the side of this, and it would have been the pure hill water. There is a stream, like a stream. That'll be the reason they built it here, because there's a natural stream coming out of the ground. Because you look at the flow of water leading away off down through that little burn. But look at it, it does look pretty good. You wouldn't want to drink it, but it is clear. And they must have had the white stones to give it a different look. And so when you look down through, the water would look even more crisp and clear. Wow, what a scene of history once again on the channel, folks. It looks like there's an old farm croft, but it's no abandoned. It looks like it's still a wee hoosey up here in the glen. But the character of that is just amazing. And I can just imagine how cool it must be to live in a landscape like this, looking out your window over these mad hills and cliffs, and there's like a cool waterfall and stuff coming off the faraway hill there. But yeah, I'm always just blown away by the history. And you just think Queen Victoria literally stood here at this piece of land. I'll go over here out of the wind. Queen Victoria literally came here and stood, and probably the horses and stuff had a drink from here. I'm not sure, she likely did have a drink from here as well. But that's the reason there is a thing like this that stands here, and I just love to come for a walk in a glen like this, because the amount of different creatures and wildlife we've seen on the way here, it's been mad, and it's been such a fun summer adventure. And the scale and the size of these hills, it just blows me away when I see it. If it's no the wind blowing me away, folks, it's the scenery around here. And there is actually another interesting detail with the old carving. Check that out, the old carving around the edge of the stone. Some of it's chipped off, and some of it's lost to nature and time. And that's the reason it's cool to video these places at a certain time in their history, because each year it crumbles and falls away more and more. So videos like this just let the world see what was here. Look how clear the water is flowing out of there. You can see the stones and pebbles on the bottom. It's a mad scene of history here in Scotland, folks. And you can see why Queen Victoria loved these lands as well. It's just massive cliff faces. A lot of the time the land was carved here back in the glaciation period. Look at this. Queen Victoria, His Royal Highness, the Prince Consort. It's hard to even read what it says. Visited this well and drank of its refreshing waters on the 20th of September 1861. The year of the Majesty's great sorrow. Oh, and was that the year that she lost Albert, who was her lifelong lover and husband, Prince Albert? And that's also the gentleman she built the pyramid for up at Balmoral. There's a big stone pyramid in remembrance of him. Yeah, we'll have to go to that one day on the video. So this was also built in that year, 1861, where she lost Albert and she was in mourning. She was in mourning. Yeah, it's been carved at one time proper, I think. Oh, aye. Yeah, it's maybe had a metal inlay at a certain time, or maybe it was repaired at one time. It's hard to know the proper history. So you can see here, folks, quite clearly it's been repaired at a certain time with these different colours of rocks, whereas at this other side it's the original stone. But yeah, I just love to see it. The way that kind of greenery is in the water, it gives it a different character.
Drank from it.
It's almost like a forgotten secret garden or well out here.
How much of a drink did they take?
They would have drunk though when it was fresh and new, and the water would have been pure and clear. Whereas now it's been probably stagnating. See, the water's actually flowing out here at this point. So I'm not sure if it was designed at a certain time.
Flow over.
Yeah, not to flow, so that it's coming out and this is not stagnant.
See, well, that's what I mean. If that is probably designed to flow over.
Yeah, oh aye.
To this boat.
Yeah, this is, wow, Channel DJ has sorted this out once again. Right enough, it would come up to that height and flow over, and it would have still been doing that when they repaired it. But then now it's leaking out at this lower level. So that makes me think, if you got some cement and filled this hole, would it once again flow the way it did? Yeah, it would clean itself. See that? We're literally uncovering the layers of history, folks. The wind's blowing, so I keep going behind this pillar here to get the audio. But I just imagine that when the water was flowing there, it must have looked so incredible. And now we can really get an essence of what Queen Victoria must have seen. And then they would have been drinking that fresh flowing water. And it must have been cool to see the way that it equally flowed down and around. And then I believe it must have had the white quartz stone at the sides. Yeah, it's been landscaped and then eventually it releases away. Wow, folks, it's just a magic area, really. Seeing those details of the history. Yeah, look, this stone here has actually been shaped at one time, I think. And then from there on, it's been the natural riverbed. But what they've done is they've put a lot of that quartz, I believe, into it to give it even more of a fresh look. But I think there could be quite a lot of that stuff in the ground anyway. Because look at it there. Yeah, that quartz does occur naturally in these lands, folks. So there you go, folk. The Queen's Well, Glen Esk Scotland, brought to you here on the channel. Now we're away to go over here and have a look at this river flowing down and carving this mad land. And I just love the way on a summer's day or a spring day, like how you can see the haze in the air. The faraway hills almost have like a fog in front of them, and that adds to the character of the land as we look around. You really get an aspect of how massive these huge cliffs are. The closer I'm walking to this cliff in front of me, the more it's becoming almost, what would the word be? Yeah, it just looks like a vertical slope, folks, towering over our heads. And it's just massive, and there's so many little cool areas. They look like there's wee caves and stuff up there. And we do love exploring the odd cave on this channel. Check it out, folks, we've made it to the edge of this river in this Highland Paradise land. It's absolutely mad. Check out the clear water flowing by. Sometimes these Scottish rivers have a brown shade to them, and that's actually caused by the peat, which is the water running through the peat bogs here up on these hills. The further down the glen you get, the water's pure brown often, depending on the conditions in the glens. Yeah, that's so deep, just like right there. Look at this, folks, little waterfalls. Yeah, wow, and then this cliff behind it all. Amazing. We're literally standing in paradise here. Look at this, folks, I'm just waiting to jump to this rock, but it looks like it might roll away into the river when I land on it, so I'm not 100% sure about this. If it does roll, I need an exit strategy. I'm thinking I could run onto that rock and then onto there. Yeah, I just need to make sure if it falls on, it doesn't fall on me. Yes, I made it. Did it move?
It moved there.
It moved, folks. See, never play like that in the water, folks. We are trained countryside explorers here, and even then, you never know. Yeah. Wow, the rock did move probably like 2 inches into the river, and in the storm, see, there's nothing below that rock. In the storm, I'd be careful with that, like. In the storms though, these obviously get washed out, and that's how they're just lying wherever they landed. This is so cool, folks. The water's pure clear. Look at that. Look at that in the rock there, DJ. This rock here's got a pure like ore in it, almost like a diamond. See it? I don't even know how well that comes out on the camera. Do you see it?
Yeah,
Wow, the whole thing. It's shining like silver.
loads of it here.
There's like a proper slab, like a 2p piece there. Look at that, folks, we're getting the stones skimming on the go. Here's a goodie. It's a fantastic thing to do when you're next to the water, folks. Try and skim over a few stones. Oh hey, I got on video. The channel DJ, folks. I just pressed record in time. His foot slipped off the rock into the cold Scottish countryside water. I was just waiting to record the river crossing here, folks, and that was just golden. We love the action here on the adventure, and often crossing these burns and rivers is part of getting to where we need to go. Sometimes you pay the price, but on a summer's day it's no the worst time to have your foot in the burn.
Fair with the socks and shoes on, you know.
Look at this, folks, at the edge of the path. Once you come lower down, it's got this magnificent gate posts right here. Big cast iron beasts. And we're just theorising that this gate may have been here since the days of the Queen's Well that we looked at earlier in the video. And just check them out. It just shows you if you build something properly, how many years it can actually last. Wow, and it's proper onto that massive stone with big nuts. Right, folks, that's us now back down as far as this wee bridge at the bottom of the glen, just next to the car park. And what an amazing walk it's been up this valley. It's a lot less windy down here at the lower levels. Once we were up there, it was super strong wind on the way back, so I've not really recorded too much. But it was an amazing adventure, and we saw that adder, which is crazy to see out in lands like this. Apart from that, all the nature and wildlife, it's just special. Anyway, we're going to end this video here. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll see you in the next one very soon.